The next step for the bill is advancement by the Senate Appropriations Committee, which is expected later this year. This will be followed by Senate floor consideration. Stay tuned for more information on politics. Maggie and Josh, back to you.
Great stuff, Sam. When we come back,
the bills that are making headlines across the country.
And an update on Virginia's congressional race.
Plus, we track the latest numbers in the stock market.
Stay put. We'll be right back.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate mountain.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
And Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas.
And your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
This is BreezeTV.
Good afternoon, JMU. I'm Regine Aranazari, and this is BreezeTV Politics. Senator Tim Kaine has proposed new legislation to help sexual assault victims on college campuses across the country. In a press release, Kaine's team said that the Survivor Outreach and Support Act, or SOS Act, would require every federally funded college and university to have an independent advocate dedicated to campus sexual assault prevention and response. In other news, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham proposed a bill on Tuesday that would ban abortion at 15 weeks, the most restrictive federal legislation since the Supreme Court's reversal of Roe v. Wade. Although Graham's previous pro-life legislation once unified the GOP, this new bill did not sit well with the party, especially at a crucial time ahead of midterms. West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito said, quote, "I don't think there's an appetite for a national platform here. My state today is working on this. I'm not sure what he's thinking here." That same day, West Virginia passed a bill to prohibit nearly all abortions, making it the second state to do so. Although the 2022 primary season has come to a close, 6th District House candidates Ben Cline and Jennifer Lewis are gearing up for Election Day by making key campaign stops. Both candidates visited JMU this week in an effort to bring students out to the polls. Representative Ben Cline attended a Young Republicans meeting on Monday as they continued to campaign for him, while Jennifer Lewis gave some remarks at the Young Democrats meeting. Lewis previously ran against Cline in 2018, but lost 59.7% to 40.2%. And now for a Madison market update. U.S. stocks plunged this week following a consumer price index report showing an 8.38% increase in inflation. Wall Street continued to see hefty losses after FedEx's CEO announced yesterday that he expects the economy to enter a worldwide recession and cut revenue estimates by 20% for 2023. All three major indices continued to decline this morning, with the S&P falling 1.6% and the Nasdaq plunging 1.9%. The Dow Jones saw losses of 400 points, or 1.3%. That's all for politics. Joshua and Maggie, back to you.
Earlier today, the JMU Board of Visitors met and announced they've exceeded their total funding goals for the Unleashed campaign, allocating a total of $251.1 million. $102 million of that funding goes to scholarship for students, $39 million in construction, $13.9 million in civil society, and another $11.9 million that can be used for anything within the university. The 10-year campaign was celebrated by the board as a whole.
We're entering halftime here.
Football maximizes their bye week in preparation for a big-time matchup.
And women's soccer starts their in-conference play.
Plus, we're live to preview the 25th ranked field hockey team.
Grab your popcorn. We'll be right back.
Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun Spice Chicken Breast Filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun Filet Biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun Spice Chicken Breast Filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate mountain.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
And Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
reaching residential areas
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
This is BreezeTV.
JMU football has extra time to prepare for the Appalachian State Mountaineers before they face them next weekend. The Dukes are currently on a bye week, which comes just in time as the Mountaineers took down the number 6 team in the country. 17-14 was the final score against Texas A&M. JMU players aren't backing down from the challenge they face ahead.
With this bye week is big for us, and we can get a lot done, so we just got to go about it the right way.
We know it's going to be a tough game for us. We're ready for the challenge, but this is kind of what we all want to play for as football players. It's going to be a hostile environment there, and these next 2 weeks are going to be big for us going into that game. We just need to lock in and focus on the film, each day in practice and, stuff like that, because, it's a big-time game for us.
The Dukes are currently number 1 on the FBS leaderboard for points per game. They're led by quarterback Todd Centeo, who's tied for second in passing touchdowns in the FBS. Kickoff for the App State game has been moved to 3:30 at Kidd Brewer Stadium.
After the passing of his father last Saturday, head coach Kirk Cignetti still led his team to a 63-7 victory over the Norfolk State Spartans. Cignetti spoke on his father after the Dukes win.
And he was a walking miracle.
every single day since 1979 when he came down with a rare form of cancer and was given his last rites twice and beat it. That would have been my senior year of high school. Every day after that, it was, you know, a bonus for him.
Frank Signetti Sr. passed away at the age of 84.
JMU women's
soccer has their first conference game of the year against Sunbelt opponent Coastal Carolina. The Dukes look to improve on their 4-2-2 record. Their team played their last non-conference game against Oregon State, who they fell to 1-0.
For more on JMU sports, our reporter Noah Beidelman is live on the field. Noah, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Joshua. I'm here at the JMU Field Hockey Complex as the Dukes are gearing up to host 16th ranked William & Mary tonight at 6 p.m. This red-hot William & Mary team is coming off a big win against Duke, putting them on a 3-game win streak. They're currently sitting at 5-1 on the season and are looking to add another win as they come into Harrisonburg tonight. As for the Dukes, they're hoping to build on some momentum after shutting out the Bellarmine Knights 3-0. Cassidy Stripmatter had 2 out of the 3 goals and is looking for a repeat performance tonight. These Dukes are 500 on the season with 3 wins and 3 losses and are currently ranked 25th in the nation. This is the first time this season that they've been ranked. This JMU team is poised to prove themselves as they're competing independently out of conference this season at hopes for an at-large bid come tournament time. It's shaping up to be a beautiful evening here in Harrisonburg, so come down to the JMU Field Hockey Complex at 6 p.m. to catch the game. You do not want to miss this top 25 matchup. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Noah. Next up,
Forbes' first Showed Out show.
And learn how JMU students can get out of this world.
Plus, it's time for us to take off when we come back.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
This is BreezeTV.
The U.S. News and World Report has recognized JMU as a 72nd National Public University after its rise to an R2 doctoral university in February of this year. Now for the Breeze's executive editor, Zia Fakiri.
Thanks, Josh. The first studio show of the year, The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, is making a big splash at Forbes.
Set back in May, the crew had 30 days to have everything prepared for the first studio show of the year.
I have always been a Percy Jackson kid. You know, I read the books when I was little, and there was something about that sense of community that Percy found at Camp Half-Blood that I remember I was searching for. It doesn't matter where you come from, it just matters like the family you found. That was really important to me, and so that was why I wanted to do the show. Seeing this show come from, you know, what I was thinking about when I proposed it to going into final dress and seeing that everything that I have dreamed and thought about is now on stage it's been an adventure.
The cast for this adaptation makes the characters their own.
I think this role has been interesting because, especially like figuring out like the gender of Chiron, because I haven't really been playing him as like a man, but also not a female. I'm most excited probably to play Hades. The set is just awesome and it's a fun time just walking around and being all sassy. This is a weird, interesting project that like a lot of people weren't sure how it would work out, but I'm excited. It's gonna be an awesome run.
Tickets have been selling at a rapid pace since the box office opened.
A couple weeks ago, we got an email from our studio coordinator, Ben Lambert, and he was like, hey, you guys, can we have the seat count early because you're selling really well? And that's when it hit me and I was like, oh my God, this is real. This show would not have gone on if not for every single person on this team, every single actor, every single crew member, every single designer. We all put our hearts and souls into this piece. And I'm so excited for everybody else to get to see all the hard work that we put in.
Reporting for BreezeTV, I'm Zia Fakiri.
Be on the lookout for the next show at Forbes because all tickets are currently sold out for this electric show. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you guys at the main desk.
Thank you, Zian. Great package, and my apologies again for mispronouncing your name last week. But it's time to kick back and enjoy the stars. The JMU Planetarium has reopened its doors for the fall 2022 season. When classes are not being held inside the space, students and community members can enjoy over 40 different events throughout the school year. Gary Albright, director of the Planetarium, said, "It's a great place for people to come and get a really good look at the night sky."
Teaching people about how to find constellations and things in the night sky. And as my students know, I'm a big proponent of learning something about the stars because they're going to be out there for your entire life. So it's information that you could use. You see different stars, different times of years, and it gives you sort of an appreciation for the passage of time.
Albright says that the planetarium is generated towards school-aged children, but he would love to see more JMU students get involved. They offer free movies every Saturday at 2:15 and 3:30 that are aimed more towards the older population.
Reporter Sam Game hosted culture editor Michael Russo and reporters Colby Reese and Alexa Bonilla as they talked about the 74th Emmys Awards.
Was doing this sort of bit, and he was like pretending like to be passed out. Yeah, it was so, it didn't really land in the first place.
Yeah.
It didn't. And then, yeah, so it wasn't even funny in the first place. And he's just laying there and she accepts her award and he like stays laying there throughout her time.
She had to like step around him to get to the microphone and speak and like, she's like, hold my phone, Jimmy. And then she's just,
And she's just so graceful. She gave him a moment. Like she was like, hey, Jimmy, you know, what did she say specifically? She was like, oh, Jimmy, wake up, I won, you know? And that could have been his moment to like get up and bow down and, you know, let her have the space, but he didn't.
Yeah, and I think that she like went with it well. I'm sure it frustrated her, but I just, I didn't really like that because it just took away from her moment. And like, it was her first Emmy, and like, if I won an Emmy and that was my first time, and that's not, that like, she did way better than I would have because it didn't make sense. I don't know who came with that idea to just drag him on stage. First of all, it took like 5 minutes for them to drag him all the way up.
Yes.
And then I'm like...
Yeah, and she said that when you win an Emmy, you only have 45 seconds to do your speech, and you have a lot of people to thank, and you only get that moment once. You only win your first Emmy one time. So that's a moment she can never get back.
Some interesting conversations there for sure. JMU is notorious for high employment rates after graduation. But what about the alumni that don't use their degree? Daniel Gardner graduated JMU last spring with a degree in math and science with the hope of becoming a teacher. But by his junior year, his heart was taking flight after a childhood spent at his family's flight school, and with inspiration from his father, the decision to enroll in Blue Ridge Aviation was easy.
Who really has been pushing me to go out there and pursue what I've wanted to do, even if it's not using my degree in the way that I really originally planned.
Of his math and science degree helped in flight school, Gardner says his physics classes benefited him the most. He was able to obtain his private pilot license while still an undergraduate and is currently enrolled in a Manassas flight school to obtain his commercial flight license. He aspires to someday become a flight instructor and shares his love with flying with others.
All right, well, I think that was a pretty great show, Josh.
It was good, but before we go, we'd like to give a special shout out to the Associated Collegiate Press finalist, Shelby Walker from BreezeTV, one of our finalists.
Yeah, and so congrats to all the other Breeze staffers that were up for a nomination as well.
And unfortunately, we had a little technical issues at the start of the show, but if you want to catch the first few minutes, you can go back to any of our streaming platforms to watch the start of the show.
See you guys next time, same time, same place.
And remember, Dukes, take care of yourselves.